Hello everyone, welcome to The Old Man and the Read. My name is Jerry. Today I'm going to discuss the books I've read by one of the better known writers, Thornton Wilder. He was an American playwright and also a novelist, better known as a playwright, but he still wrote some excellent novels. He was born in 1897 and died in 1975. He won the Pulitzer Prize 3 times and the National Book Award once for his writing, but just really a highly regarded and well-liked writer. So I'll show the books I've read by him. The first book, this book has 2 separate books in it, 2 of his earliest books. The first is the Kabbalah, and this was written in 1926. And it's a fairly uneventful and plotless story, but it just really beautifully written. It follows a young man, a young American, who has gone to Rome in the 1920s, and he is befriended by a group of well-to-do socialites, and that group is known as the Kabbalah. But that's basically what the story revolves around. The other book in this book was published in 1930, and that's The Woman of Andros, and it's another just really excellent short novella. This one is set in ancient Greece. To me, the best part of the book was the opening paragraph. Wilder did a descriptive prose of the entire Mediterranean Sea, just describing it beautifully, and then slowly brought it in, focusing tighter and tighter until it eventually just came to 2 men sitting at a table. But it was almost in the mind forming like a movie set. But it was just incredibly well done. The story is about Crisis from Andros. She was a poet, and she had a following of young men who would gather to listen to her recite her poetry. But the story then transitions to a bit of a love affair, a forbidden love affair between her sister, her younger sister, and one of those men. The next book I have was written in 1927. This is The Bridge of San Luis Rey. Just really a remarkably good book. This takes place in the year 1714, and it's about a bridge that collapses in Peru, and it takes 5 people with it down to their deaths in the Gulf below. Then Brother Juniper takes it upon himself to try to unravel the mystery of why it was those 5 particular people on the bridge. Was it just God's will, God's plan? Was there some other meaning? And so he starts delving into their lives. And so we slowly learn the circumstances that led each of those people to be on that bridge at that particular time. Next book was published in 1935. This is Heaven's My Destination, and this basically follows a man, George Brush. He's a born-again evangelist, and he's working as a traveling salesman selling textbooks. But the story is basically around George and his tendency to say stupid things, and he just keeps getting himself into trouble. It's a humorous story, but a little frustrating just because of George's stupidity. The next book I have was published in 1948, and this is the Ides of March. And this is written mostly as a series of letters between various characters. This is set in ancient Rome, and so it's between a variety of characters, but mostly Caesar. And the book is broken into 4 parts. Each of them are recapping the time leading up to Caesar's assassination, and they're all told from different perspectives. Next book was published in 1967, and that's The Eighth Day. A remarkably good book. This follows a man, John Ashley, who has been falsely accused of murdering his friend and is convicted and sentenced to die. But on his way to his execution, he escapes, aided by some mysterious men, and he eventually finds his way to South America. But the real story is just the unraveling of the mystery, as the story follows members from each of his family and the victim's family, and so it slowly unravels the mystery. But this is, when I finished the book, I can recall thinking, I've never read a better book than this. I mean, it was the writing itself. It's like every word was perfect. Just a fantastic book. In 1973, he published Theophilus North. And this is about a young man who gets bored with life. He leaves his teaching position. He's 29 years old, and decides to pursue 9 ambitions that he has dictated to himself that he wants to accomplish. As he takes off, he ends up in Newport, where he basically runs out of money. And so he takes up residence there and tries to go into business for himself by tutoring and offering to read to people who can't read, have disabilities, or unable to read. Then each chapter has him meeting different people, basically in his occupation. And while he's with those people, he solves their problems. They each have a major problem that he solves, and he ends up accomplishing basically each of the ambitions. He had set out 9 ambitions originally, and as he's solving these people's problems, he's accomplishing those ambitions that he had set out. It's a little bit contrived, I thought, and he's kind of a all too knowing of a person. He seems to have a solution to everything. And the book has been categorized as semi-autobiographical, but if it is, I think it's more the person Thornton Wilder would have liked to have been, rather than who he actually was. And the last book I have is Collected Plays and Writings on Theater. And this is basically all of Thornton's plays. It's in separately listed. They have the first section is the angel and the troubled, the angel that troubled the waters, and other plays. And that's like 16 very short one-act plays. Then the next section is the long Christmas dinner and other plays in one act, and that again is one-act plays. There's 6 of those. Then he has 5 full plays in the book. Primarily, the one that is best known is Our Town, and then the final part of the book is just various writings he did regarding the theater. But those are the books I've read by Thornton Wilder. Just an exceptional writer. Wrote some very good books. A couple of them I wasn't that as thrilled about, but still very good. But I want to thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on another video. Thanks.